Welcome to Things You Should Know, People Edition. Today we'll be talking about the young teenage girl version of Paul Revere, Sybil Ludington. However, after hearing her story though, perhaps you'll consider Paul Revere a mere reflection of Sybil Ludington's history itself. Sybil was born on April 5, 1761 to Henry Ludington, a farmer and miller in Dutchess County, New York. Henry was commissioned as a militia colonel in the Dutchess County area. His mission was to lead any resistance to attacks in that area by the British Army. This area lay in the most likely route the British would take when they attacked during the Revolutionary War. Word that the British troops were headed to Danbury, Connecticut, a critical supply location containing numerous Continental Army supplies, arrived at Colonel Ludington's home at 9 p.m. that evening. Colonel Ludington's troops were scattered and he was unable to recall them easily. Sybil, who is known to ride a horse well, was instead dispatched to ride the 40 miles the troops were scattered to rouse the men. If the timing worked, they would be able to repulse the British. Sybil rode those 40 miles through the small towns of Carmel, Mahopek, and Kent Cliffs. From there, she headed to farmers' mills and back home. It is said she used the stick given to her by her father to prod her horse and knock on doors. She is also rumored to have defended herself against highwaymen with that very same stick. By the end of the trip, she was soaked with rain and exhausted, but her father's 400 men were ready to fight. Unfortunately, the men did not arrive in time to defend a supply depot that the British had burned the supplies. However, they were able to drive General William Tyrone, the assigned governor and leader of those troops, back to Long Island Sound. Not much is heard from Sybil from that time until 1784, where she married Edmund Ogden and had a child named Henry Ogden. Her husband was noted as having served under John Paul Jones aboard the ship the Bonhomme Richard during the Revolutionary War. The family then moved to Catskill, New York, following the death of Edmund in 1799. There, Sybil opened an inn, and there were rumors that she was involved in a land speculation scheme. In 1811, she moved with her son, who had become a lawyer, and his family to Unadilla, New York. There, she died in 1839 and was buried in Paterson, New York, alongside her parents. It does not appear she was celebrated during her life for her ride. It should be noted, in comparison, that Paul Revere was an adult male who rode with other riders. Some accounts believe up to 40 men. He made it 25 miles before he was stopped by the British. In comparison, Sybil rode 40 miles by herself as a teenage girl and returned successfully after having alerted all 400 men. Thank you for listening, and join us next time on Things You Should Know, People Edition.
So se me pa na git samu